What's going on, Knicks Nation? Appreciate you guys joining me for another Knicks Nation post-game show. Well, the New York Knicks lose to the Boston Celtics by a final score of 131 to 104, and the Knicks move to 34-18 on the season. Subscribe, smash the like button, all that good stuff. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Appreciate every single one of you guys joining me once again. That was bad, guys. That was bad. Wasn't what you wanted to see from me, New York Knickerbockers, on this Saturday evening marquee matchup against the Boston Celtics. Right? Not at all. The New York Knicks got outclassed again by the Boston Celtics. That is twice this season. They are 0-2 against the Boston Celtics this season. Let's go Celtics chants in MSG. You don't want to hear that at all. 0-2 against the defending champs. 0-2. And tonight you thought you were in MSG on your home court. You wanted some revenge from the first game of the season when they smacked you. They demolished you, and you circled this game on your calendar, and it was more of the same. I don't even know where to begin, but we'll get there, guys, man. We'll get there. Crazy stat from ABC. They've outscored the Knicks by 84 points behind the three-point line this season. Oh, man. 84 points behind the three-point line this season. It's a terrible loss. Terrible loss, guys. Terrible loss to start this weekend. That's for sure. The New York Knicks got beat by Luke freaking Cornett and Nemes Kita. Guys, they just got outclassed. They just got their ass kicked, man. Again. By the Boston Celtics. Frustrating. Yeah, we can talk about the individual statistics. Bridges, ass. Hart, ass. Towns, ass. We could talk about it all. Deuce McBride. I don't even know. I don't even know with Deuce McBride anymore. I thought Deuce McBride was better than. I honestly thought coming into the season, Deuce McBride was gonna have a great year. I did. I thought McBride was better than Pritchard. I would defend him. I'll be like, nah, McBride is going to have a great year. Pritchard is better than McBride right now. Just terrible performances. And yeah, we'll go through the box score. We'll go through everything. We'll go through the, momentum shift in that third quarter. Thibs not challenging. I thought that was really a momentum shift in the game. That third quarter, man, a swing of emotions, right? Swing of emotions in that third quarter. Let's get to some of these comments. Appreciate every single one of you guys in here, by the way. A lot to talk about tonight. Knicks get their butt kicked by the Boston Celtics, 131 to 104. Once again, some bad performances from the guys. No excuses, man. No excuses. Joel, what's going on? Appreciate you in here. I was the first one popping in. Crying face, yeah. Joel says, Mitch, come back. Yeah. That's it. Knicks 100 GM, what's going on? Johnson says, this shameful loss clearly shows the true level of the Knicks. Absolutely, definitely not a contender for 100% sure. Man, oh man. Johnson also says, very shameful to lose like this to Boston without Holiday and Porzingis. Yasier says it's on Cat. Tony says, Towns, I've noticed for his big teams, he doesn't show up. You can't get outworked by a bench player, but Luke Cornett who pointing it to him. Guys, the Knicks got outworked by Luke Cornett and Kita. Guys, Precious Achiuwa was terrible. Terrible tonight. Terrible. Bridges, terrible. Cat, terrible. McBride, terrible. Just a lot of terrible performance from the New York Knicks, man. Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart were 4 of 18 in the first half. Mikal Bridges, I thought to start this game had some good looks and didn't capitalize. And one thing is, Mikal Bridges cannot guard Jason Tatum. He can't. A lot of times tonight, Jalen Brunson was getting matched on Jason Tatum because of the switches, and it's too small. It's barbecue chicken. The New York Knicks have no chance versus the Boston Celtics without OG Anunoby. No chance versus Boston without OG Anunoby. And, Mikal just was getting cooked tonight by Tatum, and Tatum was on another level. Look, Jason Tatum is a great player, and he was just hitting, pretty much everything. It's one of those nights for Jason Tatum, and, when you compile all the poor performances from the guys and you put out this performance like this, Jalen Brunson was literally the only Knick that, showed up, and we know Jalen Brunson to show up in these big games. And it's just unfortunate that Cat, look, Karl-Anthony Towns, if you're hurt, please sit down. If you are hurt, please sit, Karl-Anthony Towns. Like, I know you were downgraded before this game, and then you were a game-time decision. You're dealing with the thumb. You're dealing with the knee. All-Star break is coming up here. No need to push it. I know you wanted to play versus Boston, but if you're hurt, sit, please. And guys, just I'm really disappointed in this one. Like, I'm really disappointed in this one. When you factor in everything, when you factor in the game one versus Boston, when you factor in, like, they're going to get up for this game. They're coming off a bad loss, and the Celtics really just haven't really been playing well. And they're coming off a bad loss into MSG. They're going to be motivated. And I really wanted this win. I really did. And the performance that the Knicks put out there tonight was just embarrassing. Like, that's the only way you can put it. It's the only way you can put it. And yeah, we could talk about the game plan. Like, I thought Thibs should have went to Hukporti more because the Knicks were getting cooked by freaking Cornette. And Keita and Precious wasn't doing anything. And, you need the size. You need the size. And he kept going to the lineup, Precious starting against the Celtics team when you need three-point shooters, because all the Celtics do is shoot threes. Now, he started Deuce in the second half. And the third quarter, you made that run. You cut it all the way down to 3 in that third quarter. 3 in that third quarter. First of all, how do you go down by 13 in the third quarter, then cut it all the way to 3, then go down by 20 all in one quarter? Third quarter emotions in that third quarter. And I thought the non-challenge by Tom Thibodeau, the Deuce McBride, the foul the foul that he had, I thought Thibs not challenging that was kind of like the end of the momentum. And look, that is not why the New York Knicks lost this game. That is not why the New York Knicks lost this game. I'm just saying I thought that was a huge momentum shift. And after that, Celtics were just dominating. Appreciate every single one of you guys in here. Smash the like button, even though it's a terrible loss. Let's get them likes up. Appreciate every single one of you riding with me on this Saturday evening. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I see you all in the chat. Try to get to all of you. Wow, got a lot of comments to catch up on. Jay Terrence says, at this point, we should have kept Quentin Grimes over Deuce. This Rover says, and I've been saying Deuce 3-ball has evaporated. I don't know what's going on with Deuce, man. I don't know what's going on with Deuce this year. Eddie, what's going on, Eddie? Appreciate you in here. We are just not at their level. Amanda says Thibs got shook and went back to his old ways. What's going on, Amanda? Oh, man. Yeah, he made a switch in the second half, putting Deuce McBride in the starting lineup, and then he benched Precious Achiuwa because Precious was just getting outworked. And it's embarrassing. I mean, look, Luke Cornett, I know he's a good, solid. I mean, Cornett had 14, 12, 5 offensive rebounds, 7 to 7 from the field, guys. Nobody put a body on him. Nobody. Neemias Queta, 4-7, 3 offensive rebounds, 8 boards, 1 steal, 1 block, 11 points. These are their bigs. Couldn't stop their bigs. And Alan Hahn said it on his X. He said, a lot of teams facing the New York Knicks this year call them too small. The New York Knicks are too small, especially without OG Anunoby. But this is why I've been on the board of starting Mitchell Robinson when he returns. Because versus the Boston Celtics, they honestly, watching them, like Tatum, Tatum looks like he has like 7 inches on Mikal Bridges. Like, he is just so big. And Bridges tried his best, but he couldn't stay in front of Jason. Couldn't, man. Knicks 100 GM. Tatum was carrying a lot. Yuri says a loss is a loss. Oh, man. First of all, Deuce McBride, man, is just, yeah, hit the Discord if you want to hop in the VC. I'll get to your calls later on in the pod, in the post game, excuse me. This was just one of those embarrassing losses that the New York Knicks have. Frankly, you know, we've been playing well, and that's the frustrating part is you've been playing well, and you looked at this game, and, you know, marquee matchup, ABC, 8:30. It's snowing outside in New York. I mean, it's one of those games, you know, no Porzingis. I know guys are out, so, you know, both teams are not at full strength. But, you know, it's the Boston Celtics are a machine. When Tatum goes into superstar mode like that, and when they had Peyton Pritchard, 6 of 8 from 3, 25 points, 9 of 13 from the field, that is what Deuce McBride is supposed to be, ladies and gentlemen. And he is just not. He's not. He hasn't been like that for the New York Knicks team. And I don't know what it is. Is it his breakup? I don't know. He's a single man now. I don't know what's going on with Deuce. We all have personal issues going on that affect us on a daily basis. So, I don't know. He's had some good games this year, but ultimately it just hasn't been the full package. Like, it just hasn't been, you know, what I've expected to start this season for sure. And it's more than a half a season. So, but look, it wasn't just Deuce tonight. Mikal was bad. Precious. Oh, man. Hart actually made his game kind of like 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, but it was just defensively. Brunson was awesome. A lot of times he got matched up with Tatum, but just look, man. Celtics shot 48% from 3. I mean, that's pretty much what she wrote right there. Right there and there. Joe Mazzulla is a mastermind. Yvette says, what's going on, Yvette? We miss Dante. Woody says, good evening, guys. Amanda says, we are too small. Most players are less than 6'5", and they play smaller players too. Yeah, too small against this Celtics team. Look, when the Celtics throw out Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Luke Cornett, and even Derek White is not small. Like, he's like, how tall is Derek White? He's like 6'4". Look, size matters. Oh, man, pause that. Size matters, guys. And against this Celtics team, they were small. Too small. Bridges is 6'6", 6'5". Brunson, 6 foot. And Hart is just too small. So, Jabroni, Tatum is only 2 inches taller than Bridges, but he's long. Pause. Yeah. Pause that, man. Isaiah says, embarrassing loss, man. I'm sick of this team collapsing against pressure. Ridiculous if we want to be taken seriously that we need to play better. That's it. I understand the frustration, man. I'm frustrated too. Jabroni says, why does it feel like Deuce is better than Pritchard, but he doesn't put up the numbers Pritchard does? It's weird, right, Jabroni? It's frustrating. It just hasn't been consistent with Deuce. Just hasn't. And, if you look underneath the hood, if you look at all the analytic numbers, Deuce McBride is in all of the Knicks' pretty much best lineups on the court. And that's pretty much due to the fact that he spaces the floor. And, tonight, I mean, what did he do? One of 5 from McBride, 1 of 8 from the field. He got 4 steals, but that the missed layup contest at the end of the game was kind of like a frustrating. I know the game was over, but I was just like, come on, man. But yeah, hey, look, man, I don't know what he's going through personal wise, but it could be affecting him on the court. But I mean, it is what it is at this point. I personally thought McBride was better than Pritchard, and I'm this season it just hasn't been that at all. Just hasn't. Look, McBride is a better defender, but Pritchard is just more consistent all around. So, and Cat just, I thought to start this game, the Knicks they weren't really feeding Cat. Cat wasn't really being aggressive. And I go back to, I think it was the first quarter where Cat made a bucket and the camera pans at his dad. And, I think I saw his dad saying, oh, like keep feeding him. That's like pass him the ball or something along those lines. And look, he only attempted 8 field goals tonight, but if he's hurt, don't play. Like you're already dealing with a thumb situation. And the last thing we need is something to linger. And the All-Star break is coming up. So it's like, look, but the frustrating thing about tonight is you had 3 days off, right? So you had 3 days off like you had before the sack game, and you came out of that game hot. And you came out of this game flat. Just flat. So, but in terms of coaching, I really wanted Thibs to put in. Look, Knicks needed size tonight. They did. That was the most glaring issue, the size. So that's why I wanted Thibs to go to Hukporti. I know he played like 3 minutes up until like garbage time, and Precious wasn't giving them anything. There was like no effort from Precious. Plus minus 37 for Mr. Precious Achua tonight. So, look. Throw this in the trash, man. This was bad. L Figure says Thibs are just part of the problem. Oh, here we go with the Thibs talk again. Oh, man. Tony says Deuce not going through anything. He's not the 6th man we thought he would be. Tony, he could be going through something. That's all I'm going to say. Andres says Deuce early season injuries messed with his head and development. E. Gonzalez, what's going on, E. Gonzalez? Appreciate you. Isaiah said if Cat is going to continue to evaporate against big opponents, then I don't know. I don't want him on this team. We have a whole playoffs to obviously digest that, but it's Cat has been awesome. This is for the first part of the season. I know if he's had some stinkers against these marquee matchups, but I really don't want to make excuses for him because I'm sure he won't make excuses for himself. But I get it. Look, he had a bad game. Bad game from Cat. Not aggressive. Just not in the flow of the offense. Pick and roll defense still got lost a lot. Just a bad game. But, we'll cross that bridge, and we've seen Cat have big games in the playoffs. Recently last year against Denver. So we have to wait till the playoffs to, pin that on Cat. I don't want to pin that on him yet. Unc, what's going on, Unc? When Mitch and OG get back, I'm putting Hart back on the bench. This small ball is getting exposed. Cat is flat-footed. Guys, I've been preaching when Mitchell Robinson comes back, I think you got to start him. I do. I personally do think you got to start him. Latest update on Mitchell Robinson is that it's funny how now he's supposed to be back before March 1st now. That's the latest update from Shams. But I think when he comes back, you got to start him because, right now against the Celtics, and if you look at the Cavs, especially in a playoff series, you're too small. You're too small against these teams. So you start Mitch alongside Karl-Anthony Towns, and you just go from there, and you put Hart on the bench. And that, helps out your bench, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But, I found this tweet from Alan Hahn interesting. So I'll bring this up. I'll put this in the chat. Whoa, too big. All right. He tweeted this out. He says, the Celtics aren't the first team this season to give the too small to the Knicks defenders. That's the knock on their lineup when you ask people around the league. Especially with no OJ and OB, they are small. And especially when Karl-Anthony Towns is not playing like a 7-footer down low and letting freaking Cornette and Neemias Queta. Is it Queta or Kita? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. It's Queta. They outplayed them. They were banging. They were more energetic. Cornette didn't miss a shot. Yes, Luke Cornette, ladies and gentlemen. Al Horford, what is he now, 40 years old? I mean, you mean to tell me you couldn't run some sets to get Al Horford on an island or something? He's a terrible, he's not the same defender, and he's old, but he hit a 3 and it was a timely shot. Even he grabbed 8 boards. Look, Celtics are a machine, right? The frustrating thing about this game is that it felt like we're still far away. It felt like, look, we've been playing well, right? And obviously we're dealing with injuries. We're not at whole, but so are the Celtics. And it just felt like we just got pretty much just outclassed, right? It just felt like the Celtics came into our building and just kind of shut the water off. And they were like, look, I like your little team. You're playing well, right? But let's not forget who the real big dogs in the Eastern Conference is. And it just felt like tonight, especially game 1, the Knicks are just, we're close, but right now, the Celtics are a machine, and this Knicks team is just not at the Celtics level. They're just not. And, things can change, right? We're getting reinforcements, but still. They didn't have Porzingis. They didn't even have Jrue Holiday. So I don't even hear about the injuries at all. It's just, kind of one of those games where the word is escaping me, but you guys know what I mean. They put us in our place. 48% from 3 in MSG. How? Frustrating game, man. Hit some of these comments. Appreciate you guys in here. Once again, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the Discord. Get to your calls a little bit later. Yuri, I see you in the Discord. Charles, Hello, they were playing the Kings, not the Celtics. Off the 3-day layover. Yeah. Jay, what's going on, Jay? Appreciate you in here. Tough loss. Miguel says, what happened to Hukporty? Come on. He said those players going to get more minutes, and I'm not talking garbage minutes. I'm so disappointed for what this team is going through right now. Miguel, yeah, I really wanted to see Hukporty in minutes. Miguel, appreciate you in here, Miguel. First time. Welcome to the crew. Haven't seen you in here. I really wanted to get Hukporty in the game because of his size. El Figgy says if Cat is injured, then don't play. When he's out there, it's like 4-on-5. Yeah, Cat just didn't look right tonight. And like I said, if he's injured, don't play. If you're hurt, sit out. Look, I know you want to play. I know you want to, instill the toughness mentality and, but just don't push it if you're at 70%. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. E. Gonzalez, Knicks cut the lead to 3, and right after the refs call a horrendous 3-point foul against Deuce. Yeah, like I said, I thought that non-challenge by Tom Thibodeau. It's frustrating because Tom Thibodeau is normally really good at his challenge, has been really good at his challenges this year. And that third quarter, we talked about it a little bit, but you went from being down 13, then you climb all the way back up. Mikal Bridges hits a big on the break, fast break 3. MSG's going crazy. The crowd is alive. Fans are going crazy. We're back. They pulled us back in. They reeled us back in. And then that happened. Celtics, they hit a 3, and then that foul call and, the non-challenge from Thales. I thought that was a huge momentum shift. But after that is like, literally after that, it's like they didn't get back in the game at all. So, that was a big part of that third quarter. Jay Terrence says, guys missing wide open layups and shots, prime time. This is getting bad, man. Can't watch this crap no more. What's going on, Jay Terrence? Nick Yak says, what's going on, Nick Yak? After Cat and Hukporty played so good together last game with Hukporty on stud Scotty Barnes, try him on Tatum. With Cat, Saul's rebounding too. Dibs didn't go to it. That's why a lot of people early on in the chat were frustrated with Tom Thibodeau because he just didn't go to it. And I would have. Trying to catch up on your comments. Isaiah says this was worse than the last time we played them. And the Celtics fans pulling a Knicks fan move definitely didn't help them with that. Loose Joint says, no Porzingis and we still lost. They are just the better team, coached by a great coach. We definitely need Mitchell Robinson back in 2 weeks. Unc Dre says, let's not get too down over tonight. It's only a game. We will get back on track. Let's not give up on our team. I like that. I like that positivity. But it's frustrating, Unc. It is because, look, bottom line is you came into this game. You wanted some revenge on the Celtics. You were 0-2 against this Celtics team this year. And you got outclassed again by the Celtics. That is now 2 games this season where the defending champs in your conference, in your division, have outclassed you. One time in Boston, one time in MSG. And they've outscored you by 80-plus points from behind the three-point line, and that is their bread and butter, shooting the 3, right? That is their bread and butter. Once they got hot from 3, no one can beat them. And that's the frustrating part because, look, this Knicks team is still playing well. They're still in a good spot. We've been stuck in this 3 seed now for, I would say, 2 months, right? 2-3 months. So, but the frustrating part is Celtics came into MSG and outclassed you. It's not like you lost by 2 or 3 in a tough battle down the stretch, trading baskets back and forth. Nah, man, you got blown out again. You got embarrassed again. You got to hold it on the chin. You got to take it on the chin. They put up over 30 points in every single quarter, guys. 30 in the first, 31 in the second, 35 in the third, 35 in the fourth. No defense was stopping them, especially this Knicks defense that what they were playing tonight. So that's the frustrating part, man. If we won tonight, we were gonna all right, we could take Boston. What leads you to believe that we can beat this team in a 7-game series? Honestly. What leads you guys to believe that right now? And I know that's a ways away, but they're still the cream of the top. They are. Still the cream of the top, man. A-level says Mikal is the X factor in this Knicks team the way it's presently constructed. If he doesn't play well, we don't win. Mikal Bridges was frustrating tonight because he got some great looks, man. Especially in that first half. And like I said, he was him and Josh Hart were 4 of 18 in the first half, but he got some great looks to start the game, and it was just missing. And Knicks had him on the Jason Tatum assignment tonight, and it didn't work, man. Mikal Bridges looked small next to Jason Tatum. And, like I said earlier, this Knicks team has no shot against this Boston team without OG Anunoby. And dare I say, without Mitchell Robinson. No shot. And those are two guys that have dealt with injuries in their career, so that is a scary thing to say. Right? Durability problems. So the two guys you need are the two guys that often get hurt. And in my opinion, this is my opinion, once again, just a guy with a mic, I think you need him to beat this team. Really do. Really do. Brunson, Brunson's awesome. Look, Brunson was going to ball out tonight. I mean, you knew that. It's just everyone else around him didn't do anything. Brunson's going to show up. I know last week versus the Lakers was rough, but it happens. But Brunson's going to show up 95% of the time. He's showing up. So, Shamet got in there and played 5 minutes at the end, 6 points, hit an and one. DeLon Wright got in the game at the end of the game. +- +8, DeLon Wright. How about that? You could tell Shamet was in there just playing for his job because he knows DeLon Wright is right behind him. But, it's a bad loss, guys. It's a bad loss. Unc Dre says it's going to be growing pains when we are trying to build a championship team. We haven't been together for a year yet. Boston has been together for at least 5. Let's pump the brakes. We will get there. Unc, preaching facts, but preaching things that people don't want to hear right now. But I respect you saying that because it is true. Year 1 of this process, Boston, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been playing for ages, and, Drew Holiday has been there for a couple of years now, and Derek White has been there, and Peyton Pritchard has been there. I get it, but the frustrating thing is Deuce has been here, and he seems like he's kind of taking a step back, man, right? Right? Deuce. Gideon in the chat says Celtics didn't have KP and New York lost by 23 when OG was on the floor in Boston, so it doesn't matter. Gideon, let me rephrase my statement. Let me tell you what I said. He said Mitch can't guard stretch bigs. G can't guard JT. JT dropped 37 on OG's ass. Mitchell Robinson will grab those rebounds down low that freaking Luke Cornett got and Keita got. That's not happening against Mitchell Robinson. It's not happening. Mitch is grabbing those boards. He's going to box out. Knicks got outclassed, outboarded, and just rebounded tonight by those bigs. It's not happening against Mitch. So, yes, I do think that will make a difference. And all I said was I think OJ, and if the Knicks don't have a chance against the Celtics without those guys, they don't have a chance. I didn't say they were going to beat them. I said they don't got a chance. Trey says Chris Boucher will help. Yeah. Tony says we need more than Mitch to beat this team. And the bench scored 28 points. Yeah. Look, it's true. Valid points, guys. Valid points. We're all frustrated in here. All right, let's get to Yuri in the Discord. Oh, got 2 callers in the Discord. Let's get to Yuri first. Say, Queasy, please put yourself on mute. I see you in the Discord. Give me a second. Say, Queasy, please put yourself on mute. Yuri, what's going on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Say, Queasy, 1 second. Put yourself on mute. Yuri, what's up?
All I'm gonna say is to the people on, are you in the mud like I am? Are y'all in the mud? Are y'all in the trenches? Doesn't seem like it to me because it seems y'all saying the sky is falling right now. Bad loss. Bad effort. And you know what? It goes to show who's the biggest elite in the team. That's Boston. And guess what Jalen said at the post-game interview? We're not there yet. Jalen knows we're not there yet.
Yuri trying to calm the vibes down in the chat. I appreciate that, Yuri. I appreciate that. Look, we're not there yet. And tonight and game 1 showed it that we're not there yet. But,
game 2, we're not there yet. You know when we're going to be there? I'll tell you when we're going to be there. Give us a few years. Give us a few years. Y'all don't like hearing that. Too bad. You're hearing that. I'm a Rebel fan. I'm upset about the loss. But everyone in the chat sounds like a bunch of bandwagon fans to me. You only like it when we win. You don't like it when we lose. Too bad. We're in the mud. We've been in the mud since the season started.
Yo, I love this new outlook that we're having here. And I look, Yuri, as you know, I do post games and I react to the game, right? So
yeah, obviously
the game was tough, but
it was.
Your outlook and Unc Dre's outlook, and everyone, look, I would say like 40% of people in the chat agree with you, 50% maybe. And look, this could be the year before the year, and I think a lot of Knicks fans are starting to realize, like, look, we're just not better than Boston, and it is what it is. But we'll see what happens in the playoffs. We'll see what this team looks like with Mitch, and we just go from there. But it is frustrating, but I understand, and I love the positivity. I love the positive Knicks fans.
We're going to be positive. I'm not negative all the time. Maybe positive. I will say, though, this was probably the worst loss in the season. I would rank it up there with the OKC loss, but this was worse.
Yeah.
This was worse because you had the lead cut to 3. That game was winnable. And then the foul happened. Even I said that was not a foul.
Are you talking about the Deuce McBride on?
That was not a deuce.
Yeah.
But like I'm y'all don't want to hear it. Period. And I'm going to say this before I go. Y'all don't want to hear it. But it's the truth. Boston has been playing for 5 years now, and I've watched Boston's games. They're beatable. They're just not, we're not there yet to be beating them. I'm not blaming nobody. This was just a bad loss in general.
Yeah.
Boston was the only one that came to play tonight. Y'all don't want to hear that, though. Y'all don't want to hear we're year 1. Y'all don't want to hear that neither. So what happens when we actually start winning out of the blue? We're still on pace to get 50 wins this season. We're still on pace to probably clinch the 3rd seed. Boston's probably going to sweep us this series. You know what? I'm not even mad at that. I'm not even mad. This season's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear that, though. But what happens when we're actually consistent next season? What happens when we're actually consistent, period? Are those Knicks fans are going to come out? I'm not a Boston fan, brother. I'm not a Boston fan. Born and raised in the Bronx.
Yuri, they calling you Boston fans undercover in the chat, man. They calling you Boston fan. Yuri, let me get to the other call. I appreciate you calling in.
No, that listen. It happened. We move. We move to the end of the season.
Yuri, appreciate you. Say Queasy, unmute yourself. Appreciate you calling in. Welcome to the
first time caller.
What's going on? What you got?
I don't know if I'm gonna be positive. Shout out to him. I don't know how he could be, but this was worse than the first game. First game, I gave it a pass because I'm like, yeah, we brand new. It's Boston. It is what it is. What it is. But tonight's game, they ain't have no KP, no Holiday, and we still got beat by 30. Like, it was not even close. Like, if it's a close game, we lose by 5-8. I live with it. But we got spanked. We let Tatum cook us. The first game, he dropped 37. Now the second game, he drops 40. And Bridges was guarding him both of those games. OG was not on him, and OG was in the first game. He was guarding Brown. Tonight, Brown didn't even really do nothing.
Nope.
Pritchard did more than Mikal and Cat combined. He had 25. I understand we ain't got OG and Mitchell Robinson, but I feel like even with Mitchell Robinson coming back, he's going to help with rebounds and a little bit of defense. But if they were played like Al Horford and Porzingis, Mitchell Robinson really ain't going to be in the paint because that's what they're going to do. They just going to make sure Mitchell Robinson is on the three-point line and make sure Cat in that pick and roll over and over again because that's what they was doing, and Cat was getting cooked left and right. They'd do a pick, Jason Tatum, open dunk. He don't step up, open three. So I don't really see it changing with Mitchell Robinson. Like, yeah, he going to help out and get some blocks here and there, get more rebounds, yeah. But if we ain't making our shots, to me, that don't really matter. Brunson showed up. That's the only one that's really going to show up, but that's all I really got to say.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in. Say Queasy.
No problem.
Those of you in the chat, give it up for Say Queasy, first time calling in. Yeah, we got cooked, man. And look, this Celtics team is a machine. You know, he says Mitchell Robinson's not going to really solve anything. And look, I can tend to agree a little bit, but tonight, you know, they got out-rebounded by 18, you know, and that was an issue tonight, and I think he will help regarding that. But, you know, look, Boston's a machine, man. You literally have to play an A-plus game to beat them. Otherwise, you're not going to beat them. They have player after player to throw at you. And when Tatum is cooking like that, and it's chasing Tatum that you got to worry about, man. I ain't worried about Brown. Like, I'm not. Not worried about Brown. But when Tatum cooks like that, no stopping him. And you heard him. They put Mikal on him game one. Yes, I do remember that. They put Mikal on him. They were trying different things, and it didn't work. It didn't work. It's too small for Tatum. And look, he's a superstar. He's a great player. So he's going to do that to a lot of people. But Knicks got to, especially against this team, this Boston team, I don't know, man. They got to, defensively, it's going to be like if we get matched up with them in a 7-game series, man, oh, man, the coaching staff has their work cut out for them. They definitely do. They definitely do. Appreciate the guys calling in on Discord. I saw somebody ask, oh, shoot, we can call in now. Yes, on the Knicks Nation Discord. Link is in the description. You guys can call in, and I'll get to your calls. Shout out to guys calling in. Frustrating loss. Knicks 104. Celtics 131. Yeah. Hit some of these comments. Tony says Towns had 11 first meeting. His finger was fine. Towns had 9 tonight. E. Gonzalez says we are good. We play like trash and still can't cut the lead to 3. They probably expended too much energy. Yeah, we good. El Figure says Bridges needs to be put on notice. Andres says Bridges needs to add 10 pounds of muscle. He's easily moved by stronger play. Yeah, Mikel can't guard these guys, man. Like Tatum, like these guys are too like. It's not his strengths. Like he's a great defender. Don't get me wrong, but these guys, no. You need to put on muscle to guard Tatum. Like, you need to do everything well. And look, Tatum was cooking him. And like he said in the Discord, pick and roll defense, Cat was getting cooked tonight. Cooked. A lot of easy buckets, kicking out the threes. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. Tony says, can we say Thibs didn't do anything to put a lineup out there to change the momentum? Does he have any blame for the loss? I would say a little bit. I would say he could have, but you're very thin, especially when you start Deuce in that second half, right? And he's giving you nothing. Precious just isn't giving you nothing. So that's 2 players right there that you trust off your bench. One of them you're starting. One of them didn't do anything in the second half. Campaign actually 14 points and gave you like scoring tonight. But, I thought Tom Thibodeau needed to go to Huck Porty rather than Precious because Precious was just having a bad game. And I thought he could have did that. And other than that, that's the only thing. It's because who else, right? I mean, you got newly acquired DeLon Wright. You got Landry Shamet, who just says Landry Shamet like he's nothing. He's trash this year. Matt Ryan, Tyler Kolek. So, in my opinion, should have went to Hook. E. Gonzalez says the New York Knicks looked ahead to the Super Bowl. Can't do it. Can't do it, man. This Rover says we better show up versus Indy. Unc Dre says Mitch is not going to allow them to all these second chance opportunities. That's what killed us. Offensive rebound and second chance 3-point shots. Yeah, man. That's the thing that was concerning to me tonight is Luke Cornett was killing you on the glass. Killing him. Like we said earlier, size matters. Pause. Nimias Keta was killing him on the glass. Both over 7 foot. Both 7 feet. And when Towns is not healthy and doesn't really want to bang and dealing with the knee and the thumb and, and you're relying on, Precious and Hart to, box those guys out. It's a recipe for disaster. Recipe for disaster. AP says this team is probably the worst 3rd seed team I've ever seen. That's all I'm saying tonight. Shout out to the chat. AP, how you gonna come in here, drop a bomb like that, and not elaborate? The worst 3rd seed team you've ever seen? Come on now. Come on, AP. Man, oh man. That's unfair. That's unfair. Stanley coming in here. Knicks are embarrassing. Luke Cornett killed Cat. Yeah, that's the thing that's the thing that Tibbs messed up. Like you play Huck. He had a great Ariel Huckporty had a great game versus Toronto. So I mean, tonight, yeah, just watch the game. Dibs, just watch the game. Like Precious is getting killed on the you're getting killed on the glass. And look, I know Ariel Hukporti just isn't your strongest rebounder, but he has size and he can match up with those guys. Like he has size. He's bigger than Precious. He's stronger. Like he has size, man. That's where I think Tom Thibodeau kind of should have went to Hukporti more than Precious in certain situations to help with the rebounding tonight, because at the same time the Knicks were getting killed behind the 3-point line and they were getting killed on the glass. Second chance opportunities. Oh, man. Don't you guys have Jericho Sims on the bench? AP is a Brooklyn Nets fan. AP is capping. Stanley says, why was Cap playing if he's hurt? They give OG months off, yet they play Karl Anthony Towns. I wouldn't say they give OG months off, but look, like I said, when OG and Obi went out, you won't see him until after the All-Star break. The injury update is that he won't be back until after the All-Star break because the Knicks looked at the schedule and they don't want to push it. And, right thing to do. Karl Anthony Towns should be the same boat, but you got the Indiana Pacers who have been playing well coming in. You're going to Indiana, back on the road at Indiana. Look, Knicks 34-18, still in a good spot in the Eastern Conference, but tonight left a sour taste in your mouth because the Boston Celtics kind of put you back in your place and kind of was like, look, we're still the best of the best. You got to get through us. And we just go from there. What the New York Knicks have to hope, guys, as I pull up their schedule, at Indiana versus Atlanta, those are the next two games before the All-Star break. What they have to hope, look, anything can happen in the playoff series, right? But, man, if the Knicks can somehow get the 2 seed, you want that because you want second round home court advantage, right? That kind of is looking out of the realm of possibilities, but you're still like 2 games back with the Celtics in a loss column. I know anything can happen, but you need a hope that someone knocks out Boston. Cleveland knocks out. You need a hope that something crazy goes. Like, I'm not ducking from smoke, but it's clear that Boston is still the best. And I see people in the chat says the Knicks need another wing on the bench. A lot of people were upset that the Knicks didn't really make more moves at the deadline. A lot of people are upset that Cleveland got their wing at the deadline. A lot of people wanted the Knicks to make that deal. But they didn't. Cleveland gave up more. They had more to give. Knicks don't really have anything. Didn't really have anything to work with. You got Precious and Mitch. In what? A couple seconds? I wasn't going to get it done. Karis LeVert has been playing well for Cleveland. Shipped them off. So they got to figure out the bench. They do. But they have to figure out the injuries first. Look, James says, stop thinking the leader of the deflections will change this. OG is not a lockdown. Trade him this summer. Our best trade asset from Luck James. What I think is going on right now is everyone's kind of emotional. Everyone's not emotional. I shouldn't say that. Everyone's kind of like upset. And I understand it. But look, OG was starting to come along, right? And OG is a very valuable piece to this puzzle. And OG brings size. OG is important to this team. And when the Knicks have to rely on him and Mitchell Robinson coming back in order to even have a chance to get this Boston team, that is a recipe that, you don't want to mix. But it's true. You need those guys because right now this Knicks team is too small. And you look at the standings, they are still third in the Eastern Conference. But Indiana's right behind them. And I think, honestly, they're going to stay at number 3, guys. I do. I think you're not past, like I just said, like if you pass Boston, that would be great. But in a perfect, like realistically, I don't think they're going to pass Boston. And I don't think they're going to fall to 4. I just think they're going to stay in this 3 spot. I do. And it's whether you face Detroit, Miami, Orlando, Milwaukee, Atlanta in the first round maybe, and we just go from there. But yeah. E. Gonzalez says Boston has too many great shooters. Stanley says OG is lame. That's why Knicks got him from Toronto, because Raptors knew he was never healthy. Come on, Stanley. OG Anunoby ain't lame, man. OG Anunoby played his most games this season since his rookie season in a row. Unfortunately, got hurt with the foot injury. Now that Shams is reporting it's more of a toe situation. So he sprinkled that in there before the game or during halftime. He said it's a foot. Knicks are calling it a foot sprain, but Shams Charania said that it's more of a toe situation. So that's interesting. We just got to get him back. That's it, man. Injuries happen, guys. I know Anunoby has a durability issue, but I'm more honestly worried about Mitchell Robinson than Anunoby when it comes to durability, because I know that sounds crazy, but OG has just been available more, and he's just been impactful when he's on the court. So look, get the guys back, get healthy after the All-Star break, but you got 2 more until the All-Star break, and we just have to go from there. Oh man, hit some of these comments before I head up on out of here. Appreciate every single one of you once again. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Once again, Discord. See if anyone's in the Discord. You guys can call in the Discord. Appreciate you guys joining. Appreciate the 2 callers that called in tonight. Tony says, I'm going to be honest, I'm not mad or upset. I just feel the Knicks' effort from tip-off was very low. They lost the game after the first quarter. Tony, yeah, look, this is a bad game for the Knicks. Look, it's terrible. It's in a game where you thought they were going to bounce back from the game 1 performance was Boston, and they didn't. They laid an egg. They didn't show up. They got outclassed. They got outworked. They got out-rebounded by freaking Luke Cornett. Like, that can't happen. You need an enforcer, man. Cat needs to play with like, I know Cat is saying all the right things in the media. Like, it doesn't matter, like, whatever it takes. But I just think Cat, when Mitchell Robinson comes back, you start Mitch alongside Cat, man. You do. I do think that. That's me personally. But you need someone to come in there and just bully someone. Just get dirty and get down in the trenches, man. And Mitchell Robinson brings that rebounding, that especially the offensive rebounding stuff, that will unlock a whole nother level to this offense. But like I said, we got to cross that bridge when we get there. Luck says Mitch is more important to us. Cat is not smart enough to help on defense. He is just not. Look, defense isn't Karl Anthony Towns' best attribute. It's obviously offense, but right now he's dealing with the thumb. He's dealing with the knee. So, which is why I think starting Mitch alongside Cat will help tremendously. Not right away. Obviously, you want to gradually have Mitchell Robinson in the lineup, so you don't really want to throw him out there to the Wolves right away. But I think eventually the Knicks will get to that lineup. Jay Terrence says, I would have focused on targeting tall wing, young studs, and a bench. Our general manager dropped the ball. This summer, I think the Knicks can really improve their bench. Jalen Brunson in the postgame said tonight was unacceptable. Karl Anthony Towns says we've got a lot of work to do. Simple as that. There's no sugarcoating. There's no more wins. Hold on, let me. Yeah, he just says no more wins. This is something we got to work on. We got to find a way to beat teams like tonight. So, yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Bad loss on the Knicks front. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. Sleep it off. And we'll reconvene tomorrow. Subscribe. I'm Anthony. I'll catch you guys next time. As always, it is still Let's Go Knicks. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm going to go get some sleep and sleep off this loss because I don't like this. Sky's not falling, though. Appreciate the positivity. Peace.